A situation where for almost 50 years, soldiers controlling a civilian population is, you have to be superhuman in order not to treat them the way they are being treated. We are not superheroes. We are human beings. And when you control through a gun, then you see cases like that. It's inevitable.
How can I treat seriously? How can I treat seriously a person? Then brings an example of the police officer that beat the Israeli Ethiopian as an example of the moral deterioration of the so-called occupation. When we see it happening in Baltimore with no occupation, we see it happening in New York City without occupation.
But the fact that
don't evade the question. Don't evade the question.
What link there is between? I don't. I say it's absurd to say that police officer that beat an Ethiopian Israeli has something to do with the issue we are talking about.
Let's go back to. Did you want to answer his? You've had enough, have you?
Sure.
You want to answer what he said?
Sure.
Challenging what you said.
Two main things. First of all, I'm not necessarily talking about a specific illegal order. We'll get to that too. But just the general attitude of the soldiers and commanders towards the Palestinian civilians, seeing how they...
What do you mean a general attitude?
Let him explain.
Give us an example of an officer that gave you an order. I don't know what
Instead of shouting him down, why won't you listen to him?
I'm trying to understand him.
Sure. For instance, when Palestinians are passing through a checkpoint, just to see how the soldiers and how the commanders speak to them, whether they speak as they would speak to any fellow Israeli or fellow soldier, or it's only in grunts, it's only in short sentences, it's only in yelling. Specifically, I can give an example of we were given an order, we were told that we're not allowed to take photographs with Palestinian children on some specific occasion, and if they try to just kick them away. But one thing I would very much like to make clear here, something that you said, just give the name and number and they'll be court-martialed and it'll be dealt with and that's it, as if it's an isolated incident. Of course not. This happens everywhere. I hear this from all sorts of other units. I'm specifically in a combat unit, search and rescue. But you'll hear this everywhere. It's not an isolated instance. This is something that happens throughout the occupied territories. So whether it's the orders that are given or whether it's just a general attitude, I would definitely say that this seeps in and that this deeply affects Israeli society.